Good evening, everyone. I'm MrZapnar for Mog Nation, and we're going to walk through the getting started with Landmark. There was a big character and claim wipe this past week, and it might not
Good
be as
evening,
easy
everyone.
for
I'm
you to
Zapnar
get
for
started.
Mog Nation,
And we're going to walk through the Sorry about that. It might not be as easy for you to get started back in Landmark if you've been out of the game for a while, as it was the last time we started. So I thought I'd walk through what it takes to get yourself reestablished in Landmark. Okay, one of the things, of course, is we want to make sure that we get the character correct the first time around, because everything that is associated with your account is basically attached to your character. Any of the special items that you've received in the inventory and things like that will be lost if you have to recreate the character, delete and recreate, that is. So unless you've got a very helpful friend that you can port things over to before deleting your character, you're going to end up losing things. So be very careful while you're in the character creation screen to make sure that you get everything just right. As you can see the character screen, it is simple still at this point. You've got just a few faces available. They did add more skin tones, more hairstyles than they've had in the past. So let's go over that real quick. I'm actually going to, one more thing here. They did add, instead of just humans, they have large humans on here as well. So male and female large humans. And I'm going to create a character called Featherpaw. And usually when I start in a character creator, everyone has their own way of doing things, but usually to get the head the way you want it, I normally just remove all of the hair to begin with and take a look at the shape of the face. And get your skin tone the way you like it. Then go to the hair here. Just going to flip through real quick. Now on the female, the facial hair is just the brows. Facial hair on the male character, of course, is beard and mustache as well. So again, very simplistic character creator here. Harsh words from me. Basically, yes, I did expect a lot more going into this as after a character wipe. This is really not much of an advancement from what they had over a year ago. And lastly, icon. Again, just a few selections. And once again, I'll caution, make sure you have things the way you like it before you hit create, because it's difficult to go back. Okay. The next thing to do is figure out where you want to start. Most of the people playing for Mog Nation are on the Liberation server. This time around, however, it's a little bit more difficult to find claim space. So if you need to land somewhere else while you're playing with Mog Nation, go ahead and choose whatever island you want or whatever server you want. It's very easy to travel between each one of them. Okay, so here we are in the game. We basically have very little. Pull up the inventory. You see that we have a sword, an axe, a pick, a sickle, some healing potions, and a claim flag. So while I'm here, I'm going to make just a few additional items. Okay, your adventurer's doublet is your base armor, so we have that. We have a grappling hook, which is a bonus. They didn't used to give you this to start. Well, first things first, you need to find a place to put down your claim so that you've got a place to call home. So open up your map by pressing M and zoom. And this is an island that has a desert biome and volcanic biome, something that I'm not really interested in, so I'm going to move on. And all you have to do is come to the center. Click on the big floating circle and do a world or continent travel. Now I'm going to stay on the Liberation server, but I've already scoped out that I probably want to go to Time-Worn Dunes. Now these are all listed here in alphabetical order. So I'll go to Time-Worn Dunes. And I'm looking for something a little bit more like a Sylvan-based claim area. So and unless it's been claimed, I know just the spot. Again, open up the map. Zoom out a bit so you can see what's going on. And two things to show you here at the top. The first one is show claimable land. And this will show you what areas you can go into and still have available land to claim. The second thing is this filter will allow you to see if any of your friends are in the area. For Mog Nation people, just go ahead and type in Mog. And we've got 2 claims in this area. I happen to know whose claim that is. I'm not sure whose this is. Okay, one of the areas that I was looking at earlier is still available, so I'll rush up north there and see what I can claim. They did give you a compass to follow. It's something that they didn't give you the first time around. That's in the upper right corner. One of the best things that Landmark does is heroic movement, parkour. Now we're going to get a claim placed down, and we're going to do a quick build. Then we're going to go searching for raw material. I'm getting closer to the area that I was looking for on the map. Now on the ground here you'll see these orange spots. That's raw copper that we'll start digging for here in just a little. Okay, I'm almost where I want to be here. Now there are no monsters on the surface, but you will run into some exploding fungus. And I just heard one around here. So we'll go back. There he is, right in front of me. So what you can do is two things. You can either try to kill it or just run up and run away real quick and it'll explode. If you're not quick enough, like I wasn't there, you'll lose some of your armor. It will grow back, but the good thing is you will get some resources out of that. When you have a bow, it is pretty easy to kill those guys from a distance and gather in that raw material and stay safe. Okay, on the map I'm almost right where I want to be. So let's just search around here for the best. Now, one of the things that they need to fix here, hopefully soon, is when you're changing from biome to biome, they change the sky, the sound, almost immediately. It's a rather drastic change. Here we are in old growth forest, and a few steps over we're in tundra, and you can see quite a bit of a difference in the atmosphere and the sound. And what I'm looking for is a slight bit of a view while maintaining kind of a sylvan aura to my claim. And I think this is where I want to. So open up your inventory and drop your claim. Changes to your map view. You can scroll in and out. Rotate around with your mouse. Holding down the control key while mouse scrolling will adjust the height of your claim. I don't want to go too deep here. Okay, and that's my first reward. The second thing to do is go ahead and mark your claim. Put some tags on it. And you can do that through Claim Manager. And what we're asking our members to do is go ahead and tag it with Mognation, Soulfinder Legacy, and your name, along with anything else you'd like to add. That way it's easy for us to find each other in the game. I'm going to shut off Claim Boundary and then take a screenshot of the claim. And we'll save that. And it's playing a little bit odd here, so let's make sure it's... There we go. Okay, the next thing that they gave you to start out this time around are some basic templates. So in the lower left corner here, let's open up the template management system. And you'll see some of the items that I'd saved from earlier builds. But the big thing is, let's type in starter. It's a little bit of a delay there, so no worries about the typing. Okay, and what you have here are some of the starter templates. They give you a bunch of discs, some fonts, a landmark logo, but they also give you some basic building. And I'm going to look at the details here. This is basically just a tower. It shows you what props it takes. Now the resources in Landmark this time around, the basic resources such as stone, let's see what else, dirt, sand, snow, ice, those are all free, so you don't have to go digging around as much. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place this. To get a closer look, I'm going to hold down Control and hit the left mouse click. And I'm going to rotate this around. That actually looks like pretty good placement. Uncheck paste air with voxels. And hit the checkbox. Right click this tree and get rid of it, or reposition it. I'm going to delete. And there we have a basic claim. Now what you can do as a basic build is use some of these shapes to build some of your own creation. Another thing they give you are the two basic building blocks. This is your forge and your workshop. In your forge, this is where you will create your cut stone, your smelted metal, and things like that to build better items, which is one of the things you want to do almost immediately. You can also build additional claim flags. Now, to begin the game, you can start with 2 base claims and 3 attached claims, unless you've been logging in earlier than the wipe. Then you'll get 5 additional attached claim flags. But you can build as many of these as you want, rather than having to go out and gather materials like you used to. So we're going to build some attached claim flags. And 1 additional claim flag. Now the next thing you need to do is get some of the basics to go underground with. That means a light stone, your cave sounder or prospector, and ground sounder. You also would like to have some light stones here. And this is going to require ag and copper. Nothing special here. This is all surface item. So now that we have our claim going, let's go gather some material. Again, in our inventory, we're given an axe, a sickle, and a pick. That's really all you need to get started here. Although they are slow, it will get you enough here. This is some axe. Now, if you had a Founder's Pack, you'll also have a pickaxe, which is a tier 2. It goes much faster, and that's something that you can also increase quite easily now. You can upgrade. And here's some. Okay, you always have to keep an ear open in this game because we are next to a fungus here that's going to explode. And we left a little bit of resources back here, so at this point everything's precious. Plants that are harvestable have these slight glows to them. So I'll change to my 6. A few more minutes and we should have enough to gather in some of the equipment that we need to go search underground. Now underground, the best thing about it is most of these veins will be much, much larger, so you don't have to run around as much. One of the things you'll need as you start crafting are some shards, and you can only get that from killing monsters. One of the big changes is that there are no longer any surface monsters, and they're also not in these caves, the surface caves, what they're called, those caves that have openings to the surface. You have to go a little bit deeper to get to. One of the cool things is you are capable of claiming the entrance to surface caves. Now you can't restrict access, but you can claim those. I happen to have lucked out and got one of those on MrZapnar. Okay, and if you get lost, just open your map. And you can see that there's your claim. Your personal claims have a slightly different flag than any others. It's blue with a gold embroidery. And I just fell into one of my own holes. There's my castle. Now, if you're out gathering resources, it is much easier to do in a group. So party up whenever you can. You'll get more resources that way, and you'll be able to cover considerably more ground and tackle a lot more monsters. And then FYI, it is possible to solo even Tier 5 caves, in case you were concerned about that. You just have to be careful. Okay, so we need to make some cut agate and smelt some copper. And once you do that, you'll get more achievements in the game. Now you notice here, basically you get 1.5 per one when you're using the forge. So when you can, as early as possible, you'll want to come down here to the refining stations and create a replicator. It will require some druidium, some amaranthine, and those are items that you can get off of Tier 1, Tier 2, so it's not that difficult to get. And the benefit is, instead of a 1.5 to 1, you'll get a 3 to 1 on the return of your resources, so it's very well worth it. Okay, so let's create a few lightstones here. You get 5 per, so let's do 10 of them. Look at your inventory. You start out with 2 spirit anchors, and that's what allows you to respawn if you happen to die. And you can die from being killed by monsters as well as falling damage. 2's enough, so we won't do any more spirit anchor. The ore prospector and the ground sounder are pretty crucial. And I had enough for the ore prospector, not the ground sounder. The ground sounder is for finding pockets of gems and rare stone. The ground sounder is, the ore prospector is for any veins of ore. And the third one you'll want to get here is the cave sounder. And that lets you sense nearby caves. Okay, I'm going to switch characters now and go over to a guy I know who has a little bit more resources, and will show us around some of the games. Okay, this is Zapnar, and my main claims are the Miner's Gulch. Here I have claimed the entrance to a cave. I'm still on the Liberation server and Time-Worn Dunes Island. So let's take a look. This is a surface cave. I haven't done much building here. I've done a little bit of landscaping, but building will come. Now I'm a bit more established here to move things along. you'll notice that you do have the capability of creating, under weapons here, a dragonbone bow, and it doesn't cost any material. So if anybody wants me to make them a dragonbone bow to get started, just let me know. Drop me a line in game and I'll return it to you. Okay, let's dive into a tier 1 cave here, a surface cave. Get my light stone. And do some sounding for some ore. And keep your ears open because although there are no monsters, there are those fungus, exploding fungus. And getting close to some copper here. As you gain tiers on the pick and axe, you can see that it is much faster than the stone axe that they give you. You can also find pockets of gems down here. Okay, another thing that you'll want to create right off the bat is a pulverizer. Okay. What we're going to do with this is dig our own hole. So use your ground sounder or ore prospector. Highlight where there are, and then we'll dig. Now this is where the cave sounder comes in handy as well. What that does is gives you a ghost of where caves are, as you can see. One thing you want to be careful of when you're approaching a cave is that you don't just fall out and fall to your death. Okay. And you can see here a ghost of copper and agate. At this point, the cave sounder is a bit disorienting, so turn that. Using your grappling hook over. Now there are two ways to get down to monsters, which you'll need to create some of the additional or upgraded weapons and utilities. So we can either dig down to them, or we can port to some of the lower instances. To save time here, I'm going to port down to a tier 5. And here's how that's done. You can use your Stone of Recall. Just click on that if you've got it on your quick bar, or open up your inventory and right click on it here. And what you'll want to do is go to your portal spire. Now, one of the glitches they had, instead of going to the portal spire, you were going to one of the ley line spires, so that might happen here. Okay, question in chat is, what do I have that's letting me float after I jump? That is the boots of the Zephyr. Okay, yes, it did send me to a ley line, so all you have to do then is just click on the ley lines. Okay, and you're presented with a map, and also over here on the left side, you can go directly to any of the lower layers. Okay, be careful, don't get over your head. If you're just starting out, stick to layer 1 and layer 2. That will have the material that you need to upgrade your equipment. I'm going to jump us all the way down to level 5 here. And what that does is it highlights the hub for layer 5. And here we are way underground. This happens to be an ocean biome, so everything's going to be muted with water sounds. The drawback to this is the fungus, the exploding fungus, will also be muted, so they are harder to hear. Okay, right around the spire, we probably will not see any monsters at all. But to get into these caves here, and yep, there's my. And I just so happen to have a boat. And that's how you take care of them with a boat. Okay, and here's some diamond. So we'll take care of that real quick. Now, one of the things I did when I was upgrading my pickaxe was I added the reach option to it. So you can see I can reach out quite a bit further than you can with that starting stone pick. It's very important when you're actually hitting things above your head. Okay, there's not much to this cave, so we'll get out our cave sounder again. And start looking at ghosts. Okay, I can see that above me here is a cave entrance into another. All I have to do is grapple into it. You can see I took quite a bit of fall damage. And I made it. So to solve the disorientation, turn off your cave sounder. Alright, here's some obstacles. Now keep in mind, anytime that you don't like where you're at, you can go ahead and port somewhere else, back to the surface, back to your claim, back to any of your friends' claims, what have you. Or take out your pulverizer and dig your own tunnel. What I want to do right now is get into some monsters, and I believe I've got a cave entrance over there. I just have to dig into it. Here we go. Okay, it looks like we have a problem with the monsters not respawning right now. This is one of the known bugs. Oh, there's... These slogs are a little bit difficult to handle if you get more than one, so be careful with this. Is too. It is odd to not see anything else. Usually are pretty... So either there's been a band of people through here recently, or we do have the bug for the respawn. You can zoom out quite a ways here, and that is a good way to avoid monsters. And also with your sound, you can light up your ore veins and your gem veins. This looks like it's over here. On this tier you should have silver, gold, diamonds, emeralds, as well as some of the rarer stone. And that's all you'll need to make tier 5 items. You will need your grappling hook more often than you know to get out of some of those. But unfortunately, it does not look like we're going to luck out and get a whole bunch of monsters like I had earlier. Here's some gold and some obsidian. But one thing I'm going to do here is see if I can get into another cave that might be more popular. Turn the cave sounder back. And I can see another cave complex here, so I'm going to dig into it. And the game locked up again. So I'll get it restarted one more time. Shouldn't take too long. So yeah, get a bow as soon as possible. Get your ground sounder, or your cave sounder. Don't forget your light source. And get a bow as soon as possible. And get back and upgrade your armor. It's always fun to hear a monster before you actually zone into the game. Okay, I am going to go to tier 3. I think I was there earlier and there were plenty of monsters. And I won't take up too much more of the time. If we can't find them, that's okay. It's the last thing I have to show. Go to local travel, and let's change to tier 3. And the game is acting kind of slow right now, so bear with it. Alright. Okay, over here I've got an abomination, which is kind of... They always try to... Tier 3, I'm not too worried. And then the other type is a chomper over here. And basically you just need to dodge there with the bow. And he gives up his loot when he dies. So we've attacked a slog, the abominations, and the chompers. The only thing left are the wisps. They are fairly stationary. They die really quickly. So that's about all to show you on comp. And my light source is out, so time to head back to the surface. Again, just take your and portal back to your clip. Mine is called Miner's Gulch. Okay, it's dusk here in Landmark. And once again, anybody can use my cave, although it's my claim. Anybody can enter this cave, use it to their heart's content. It is rather extensive. It is tier 1 items, but you can dig down to get to some monsters and eventually all the way down to tier 5. So drop on by. You can even use my resources here in the cave as I build things up. So, for Mog Nation, I'm MrZapnar signing off. Hope you enjoy.